Following UFC 308, we've got a couple of ranking updates that we need to discuss. First up is Ilia Topuria and his pound-for-pound status. Let's look at this post made by John Morgan. Early this morning, it's Tuesday, Ilia Topuria stands firm at the number 4th spot in the UFC pound-for-pound rankings, following his UFC 308 title defense. Max Holloway dropped to number 12, and Pantoja moves up to 11. Charles Oliveira leaves the list, and Israel Adesanya, for some reason, returns to number 15th, even though he's coming off of multiple losses in a row. Let's look at the rankings here. Islam Makhachev in the number 1 spot securely. I don't disagree with that. His body of work overall, the wins that he has accumulated, the amount of fights that he has, who he has beaten, I think that he deserves the number 1 spot at this point. That is in no doubt. Alex Pereira, number 2. Debatable, considering his recent track record. He hasn't beat the best guys, the guys at the level of like a Volkanovski, a Dustin Poirier. He's beaten some of the best guys in the light heavyweight division, but has he beaten a Alexander Volkanovski or a Max Holloway via knockout? Maybe not so. But number 2, I'm not upset with it. It makes sense. You could do it. Jon Jones. At number 3, are you kidding me? Ilia Topuria was already at number 4 before the fight. And Jon Jones is still sitting here at number 3. Inactive, and he only beat Ciryl Gane. Where's Ciryl Gane been since? Has he gone on to be the interim champ? No. He has gone on to do virtually nothing since losing to Jon Jones. Jon Jones has been out of the cage for months. For well over a year and a half. Come on now. What are we doing, UFC? Number 3 in the rankings, unacceptable. Ilia Topuria should be number 3rd at worst, if not number 2. He has 2 of the best wins in the featherweight division of all time. He has 2 wins via knockout over 2 of the best guys in the division, in which there has been only 5 title holders to this point, and he has knockouts over 2 of them. What are we doing here? Belal Muhammad sits at 5, Dricus down at 6. Makes sense. Fine. Fair enough. Alexander Pantoja moves up over Max Holloway. Max Holloway, not sure why he's in the rankings, and Israel for some reason jumps into the rankings, whatever. The story here is Ilia Topuria and Jon Jones. Why is Jon Jones number 3rd? I have no idea, other than Dana White doing his thing. It's pure bias. It is only because of the fight coming up next month at MSG. It has nothing else to do with that. Jon Jones is not number 3 in the rankings. Heavyweights, compared to all the other divisions, absolutely suck. I'm sorry to tell you, just being honest. Anyway, let's move on to the middleweight division. Big moves at middleweight following UFC 308. This is courtesy again of John Morgan. Khamzat moving up 10 spots. He was ranked number 13th before. He's moving up to number 3 in the rankings at middleweight. Sharaputin coming off of a couple kind of lackluster wins, get an emphatic fashion over Armen Petrosyan. He debuts at 14th. Here these boys are, big wins on Saturday following UFC 308. Sean Strickland, the number 1 contender, as Dricus du Plessis is still the champion. Israel Adesanya, number 2. Not sure why Khamzat didn't just jump right above him. Khamzat now at number 3, moved up 10 whole spots over Robert Whittaker. Obviously just beat him. Imavov, Baralho, Vettori, Jared Cannonier haven't done anything. Allen just lost. Roman Dolidze hasn't done much. Paulo Costa, Jack Hermanson, Anthony Hernandez. Rankings can be disputed from top to bottom, in all honesty. Sharon Magomedov jumping over Michel Pereira. Well deserved there. No doubt, he's 15-0. Michel Pereira coming off a loss. Does Shara have the kind of wins that a Michel Pereira has? Not exactly, but fine, we can give him that. It was a crazy knockout. And Chimaev, how is he not the number 2 contender at worst? Israel's coming off a loss. Robert's coming off a loss. Nasruddin Imavov and Caio Borralho haven't quite done enough to jump into the top 5. Understandable. Izzy should not be a 2. Khamzat should be number 2 at worst here. But just gonna give you a quick update on these rankings. Now, featherweights. Big main card win for Lerone Murphy. Big time win over Dan Ige. Dan Ige is a tough out for anybody. Almost unfinishable. Lerone Murphy moves up 1 spot over Giga Chikadze. Dan Ige sits in there solid, sticking around at 14th. Understandable, no doubt. But Lerone Murphy, I think he could have jumped Calvin Kattar. He hasn't been active since that UFC 300 fight, hasn't gotten anything. He's coming off a loss. Aljamain Sterling should arguably be further up in the rankings, but Lerone Murphy should probably be sitting at number 10 right now, looking at a Calvin Kattar or a Josh Emmett matchup. That would be fun. Somebody like Brian Ortega, even if they're willing to jump him up that far. So, yeah, Lerone Murphy moves up one spot in the rankings. He's still undefeated. And then finally, the man himself, Magomed Ankalaev, is now standing alone at number 1 in the rankings. He is the number 1 contender, finally. Yuri Prochazka slides down. Khalil Roundtree and Dominic Reyes are tied at 6th right now. Or no, Nikita Krylov. What are they fucking talking about here? John Morgan, come on. Khalil Roundtree slides up a spot over Krylov. Okay, fine. He's been more active than Krylov. And then Dominic Reyes jumps over Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith's been losing, not on a great streak. Bogdan Guskov, hasn't done anything. And Alonzo Menefield, come on now, what are we doing? Dominic Reyes jumping up a spot, tying Anthony Smith. He should be well above Anthony Smith if you ask me. Khalil Roundtree jumps up a spot, should be above Nikita Krylov due to activity alone. Rakic has only lost to the best guys in the division. I understand them not moving him. Blachowicz still has great wins over some of the best guys there. Yuri Prochazka should obviously move down. That is deserved. Magomed just beat one of the top 5 guys. He's on a long win streak. Let's go. He's only got 1 loss in his whole career. Come on. Number 1 is well deserved. The guy might be super boring, but he definitely deserves the number 1 contender spot. We'll see what they do next between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. That'll be interesting to see. And then finally, this is all we have today. Just wanted to give you a quick rankings update and everything going on across the board. But finally, last note, just got to say it one more time. Ilia Topuria should be over Jon Jones in the rankings. Jon Jones does not deserve to be number 5 even. Dricus and Bilal have been more active than him. Merab put on a dominant performance over Sean O'Malley. Tom Aspinall has been whooping up on guys while Jon Jones has been inactive. Jon Jones should be number 5 at best. Ciryl Gane, where you been, man? That's the question. Ilia Topuria is beating some of the best guys in the division. There's no question here. There's no debate here. It should be Ilia Topuria at number 3 at worst, if not number 2, because Alex Pereira has only been beating guys ranked slightly below him. These guys are not at the caliber of an Alexander Volkanovski or a Max Holloway. Just need to reiterate that one more time. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Comment down below your thoughts across the entire weight divisions in the UFC following UFC 308. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts and opinions, and I'll see you next time.